All right. It is the beginning of, well, it's not the beginning of November, but actually getting pretty close to the release of Sword and Shield, Pokemon Sword and Shield, coming out like uh, November 15th. Yeah, like 10 days from the time I'm recording this. There are already some leaks out, the entire Pokedex, and before I give my final thought and opinion, I want to do some like a little history on my experiences with Pokemon. I first played Pokemon back. It was actually I was in the fifth grade, like when I was 10. It was like Christmas 1999 when I first received my first Pokemon game, Pokemon Red on the Game Boy. So it's been 20 years ago. It'll be this Christmas. And of course, like other kids around that time, I was obsessed with Pokemon. Uh, I went and saw the first Pokemon movie like sometime in that later year. Uh, Maybe it's around the same time. Um, my memory's a bit foggy. Uh, but I do know Christmas of 2000, I received a copy of Gold and Silver. Well, not and Silver, but just Pokemon Gold. I remember playing that throughout the year of 2001. And here's the thing: when I first played Pokemon Gold, I didn't want to catch any of the Pokemon from the previous, from the first generation. It's like, I only want to catch the Pokemon in Generation 2. Like, hey, I already caught Mankey in Pokemon Red. Why should I catch Mankey again? I didn't want to catch Growlithe again because he was in Pokemon Red. Like, I just wanted to catch all the new Pokemon in Pokemon Gold. Uh, the only reason I call it any old Pokemon from first generation Pokemon Gold was because it's either I'm you know breeding Pikachu to make a Pichu, or evolving Zubat into a Crobat, something like that. I know that sometime in Generation 3, oh, notification. That was the point when I stopped playing Pokemon for a bit because, it was before I turned 13. There was a point where Pokemon was considered a fad. And, just some kids at the time just didn't want to be caught playing Pokemon. And I didn't play Pokemon again until I was in college. When I was like, you know what? I miss playing the series. I should, try picking it up again. And, I got myself a Nintendo DS. And I got myself a copy of Pokemon Diamond, which is right behind here somewhere. I put many hours into the game. And ever since then, my love for Pokemon has come back. I played Generation 5 when I started with Oshawott there. Played Black and White 2. Uh, Went on to Generation 6. Played Pokemon Y, started with Froakie. I played Omega Ruby. And I also got Pokemon Moon version and Ultra Moon. I started with Poplio and Moon and Litten and Ultra Moon. So here we are entering Generation 8 with Sword and Shield, and I pre-ordered Shield earlier this month from the Pokémon Center website. And I know that there was some controversy about how they're not having the entire, you know, they're not going to have all the Pokemon in the game. Like, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. I mean, it's like it's bound to happen at some point. We're getting close to 1,000 Pokemon, although after the leak was announced, I don't think we even have close to 1,000. But it's like we have a lot of Pokemon. As like we have over 800 Pokemon now. This is bound to happen at some point. It's like we can't have every single Pokemon in the game. And like I said earlier, when I first played Pokemon Gold, I didn't want to catch any of the Pokemon from the previous generation because, like, I already caught them before. I don't want to catch them again. Now it's something I don't mind. Like, now from all I know, it's like we are having around 400 Pokemon in Sword and Shield. It's a it's a lower number I was expecting. I was expecting at least 500, but 400 is still a decent number. And if you really think about it, they kind of prepared us for this. In Ruby and Sapphire, they had something like a regional dex. Like, in Ruby and Sapphire, like you don't have a majority of Pokemon from the first two generations, and you have to work with the Pokemon mostly in Generation 3. And it's been like that since, onward. Generation 3, Generation 4, Generation 5, you have to work with the Pokemon that is mostly in that region. On the one hand, yeah, I can understand people's upset about not having every single Pokemon in the game, but I think a little bit of this hatred is a bit much. Like, I understand if there's only 100 or 200 Pokemon in Sword and Shield, but even if every single Pokemon is not in Sword and Shield, like, even if not every single Pokemon is not in Sword and Shield, don't get upset if there was like, if 100 Pokemon was missing, like you still had like 700 more. Like, it's like, so right now it's like, yeah, they cut the Pokedex in half, but still 400 is a decent number. You have a lot of variety. Although in Pokemon Sword and when I get my copy of Pokemon Shield, I'm not going to be using any of the Pokemon from previous generations. I'm going to be using only the Pokemon introduced in Sword and Shield. And when I was looking at, trying to make up a team with what was leaked, it's like, wow, there aren't that many options because, from what I know, there's only 80 new Pokemon maybe in Sword and Shield. But you know what? I'm fine with just 400 in Sword and Shield. It's kind of funny, watching people get excited with Sword and Shield when it was announced back in February. And then all of a sudden, they just got filled with salt when it was announced that not every Pokemon is going to be in the Pokedex. But you know what? I'm still excited. I'm going to give the game a chance. You know, and for those watching this video, I'm on Team Sobble. I fell in love with that Pokemon since February. And looking at the final evolution, I'm like, okay, I like its design. I think it's cool looking. So that's, those are my thoughts right there. Hoping somebody's going to watch this video. And if there is someone watching this video, here's a little end message right there to stay positive. Don't get negative. See you next time.